A check 1, 2, and a place to be. It's really hot out. You can see the mist. Apparently that's called a slant rhyme. Place to be and mist. I always knew. Well, I say apparently. Hi, greetings, salutations, and all that good stuff. I found this. It was in one of those, I don't know if your city has one, but we have these boxes where people put stuff, usually books and food. But then I was like, wow, is that a game? And it's a budget game? I'm gonna see if it's online and like get a couple for my middle school. Because again, I say again, I have this conversation a lot, but we don't learn this shit in school. You know, they get money, they should know how to budget now and make it a game out of it, which someone did. There's cash flow, which is pretty expensive when I first heard about it, like $300 for one board. And then you got to find people who want to play such a game. Since I've been home, I did see someone post a group, but it was like a little far, and yeah, anyway. It's really cold, so I'm gonna try to make this short. I mean, it's warming up, the sun's out here. I might just stand in the sun. Here comes the sun. But yeah, what was, all right. This is kind of random, but this is how it is. My top 3 things that I miss about Japan. Number 1, or number 3, we'll go down. I miss all the convenience stores and stuff. Like on a day that's cold and you're waiting for somebody, there's not really anywhere to stand inside. In Japan, you got your 7-Eleven, your Family Mart, your Lawson's, your this, and then, yeah, and it's warm inside. Here, you're just gonna be cold. Number 2, I don't know if it's 2 or 1. They could be interchanged. I'll go with 2. Toilet seats that are warm. When I go to the bathroom and I gotta do a number 2, and I'm going to sit down on that cold seat, it's like, ah! In Japan, they're warm. Not everywhere, but 98% of the places you go will have heated seats. And I guess my number 1 would be the vending machines with the hot cocoa. I mean, they got hot coffee and hot tea, but I'm a hot cocoa kind of guy. One time it was like this weather, but they had cold cocoa, and I hit the wrong button and it came out cold, and I was so like, what the hell? Yeah, that's my top 3 things I miss regarding cold weather in Japan. This coat is Uniqlo from Japan. Super warm. These pants are from Uniqlo, Japan. They're not so warm. They get the job done. Let's see. What else? So yeah, I got a compliment from my therapist the other day. What had happened? I was telling her, because every time I go there, I don't have any issues to talk. Like, so what's new? What do you want to talk about? And really nothing in particular, because anything that happened that was like worthy of a conversation, I already like dealt with it. I thought about it. I took the learning points from it and moved on. So I started with that. Like, you know, I really don't have anything to talk about because da-da-da. And she's like, well, it's kind of, I don't know if she used impressive, but I think she said, I'm glad, or it looks like, or it seems, or those seem almost half-assed. It was a deliberate, well, I'm glad, I'm impressed. I think she said impressed. I'm impressed that you have, impressed seemed like, I didn't know you could tie your own shoes. She didn't say it that way. But either way, she just said, yeah, you're able to handle, I can't even say it. You're able to look at the positives and reframe. She said reframe. You're able to reframe things. And I wasn't born that way. I'm natural. Okay, it goes kind of like Wolverine. He already had the ability to heal, and then they just added the antitonium, whatever the hell it's called, antimonium. I'm not saying it right. So I've always had this kind of just let it go. No, I can't say that because I held grudges. But just this kind of the good point, the bad point, you can't change it. But when I got to Japan, I got a super dose because I started reading all these books that kind of, and I met a lot of people who kind of said, you choose like this one. Your attitude is, you change your altitude. This stick is all up on me. Get off me, stick. Choose your altitude, choose your attitude, some bullshit like that. Or there's a whole bunch of them. I read all of them and I internalized them. I tried them out, and coming back to the States, I get to put them in practice. Pick your battles. So, that's a pretty high thing for a therapist to say. But then we also went into, although I have the ability to take something and put it away and look at the bright side, I do keep the boxes around. This was told to me by an ex-girlfriend. She said, "You put everything in compartments." I'm like, yeah. And whenever I need to take it out, it's there. It's cataloged. And I'll be like, I'm hanging out with Superman. Like Superman's like, by the way, kryptonite kills me. Like Batman, all the movies where Batman, or TV shows or whatever, and Batman just happens to have some kryptonite on hand. Well, kind of like that. Is that a bad thing to have contingency plans? I don't know. Like for studio stuff, it's like, you don't gotta pay me. Shit. The day you don't want to pay me, I will delete that file and be done with it. Like, but that's so abrupt. No. We made a gentleman's deal, a gentleman's agreement, handshake, right? So the minute you decide you just don't want to do what you want to do, we're not playing that. I'll burn the whole studio down if that be the case. And like, that's a little extreme. Well, I want to make my point. Don't just leave me be. So that's where we're at now. Like, do you need to? Yeah, I want people to leave me alone. But yeah. Moving along, I feel better. This morning I woke up like kind of, so all week my kids are like, I don't feel good. And they're all up in your face saying this, blowing their I don't feel good and this germs all up my face because we don't wear masks. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting whatever they have, but I'm an adult and my immune system is working. But Thursday, I just felt kind of blah. I woke up feeling blah. I got to school feeling blah. And it affected my mood to the point where kids were like blinking too many times. Like, would you stop blinking? The day before, I was feeling good to the point where the kids are like, why are you so happy? I'm like, I'm happy every day. But on that particular day, I remember I was listening to two things. Trey Songz, bitches and drinks, all up, it takes like 30 minutes to get to my job. So all the way up the highway, I'm just, just remembering all the times I was in the club in Japan, just psyching myself up. And it seemed to have worked. When I got to school, they're coming in, I'm like, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, James. But the next day I tried, but I was just out of it. And today I kind of woke up feeling, today I got a show at 5 o'clock. So I woke up feeling like, well, let me go for a walk, get some fresh air, and do my thing. And I feel better. So there's your cure. I mean, I did take some Dayquil, but walking, fresh air, doing all this, What else? What else? What else? My car, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but my car engine light has been on for the past forever. I couldn't get it inspected. So I've been driving around with my 2022/23 stickers, last year's stickers, which means anytime I get stopped by the cops, they would like give me a fine, maybe impound the car, give me a boot or some shit. I was just kind of like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. I got to go to work, take the bus. But last week my cousin fixed it, and he's like, you know what? It's the lights are off. Because basically what's been happening, he do something, I drive, and then all of a sudden it comes back on. And because I was working, it's not like they're not open on the weekend, so timing. So he did something on Saturday, like, you got to go on Monday. Do it as fast as you can. But it's like, I got to work. So I was thinking, what should I tell my job? So I went with, I got to take my dad to the hospital, which I did. He needed his 6 months physical checkup thingy. So it worked. It wasn't lying. It was convenient. I was going to do it on Tuesday. So I go up there. It goes in, and boom, I get my stickers, take my dad. So everything is going good. And then I get there, and the guy, he has a Jamaican social worker for his home care thing. And they sat there talking for 40 minutes about how Americans don't know shit. Because she was like, does Matthew cook for you? He's like, hell no. Oh, he didn't say hell. He's like, no. He's like, that's probably because he doesn't know about back home. He don't know how to cook the oxtail. And I'm like, really? Really? You're going to talk shit about me while I'm here? Like, I took off from work. Well, I didn't take off, but I'm here bringing my dad, and you're going to come here and talk all this shit, this smack? And it went on for 40 minutes. Maybe what she needed to do was 10 minutes. So, how are you? Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then for the next 30 minutes, she's just talking shit. Kids, they don't know shit. Now, they're not saying shit, but that's how I took it. By the end, she's like, okay, goodbye, Matthew. I just looked at her. I gave her the boombastic side eye, but I was looking straight at her, so I don't know if that applies. But if my eye glare can talk, she would know I done fucked up now. Wait till she needs... Now, it's for my dad, so... It is, but we're no longer friends. Anytime she needs something, and this is where therapy comes in, I gotta let it go. But nah, it's like... My thing is, adults, kids are kids. They are kids. I have a student who, for whatever reason, she started singing, all I want for Christmas is you. And she just keeps singing. I'm like, I'm having a lesson. I'm actually in front of the class, like, hello, turn to page 30. And she starts having a solo over here. I'm like, can you stop? And she's like, I'm like, can you stop? I don't know what it was that day, but it was actually that Monday. So like all day I'm running around and I was like, because that lady, I ended up going later than I anticipated. Everything's backed up. So I get to school. I don't really have any lesson plans because I thought I'd get there earlier, have a little break. So I'm just kind of do the best I can to salvage the day. And she's like singing. So I'm just like, you think that's funny? And she's like, I don't care. So I go home, sleep on it, and in the morning I woke up and I decided, I came up with something. I feel like I told you this already, but if I didn't, or if you forgot, but I decided, your punishment will be that you gotta write. You have to write the song 24 times for all the students in the classroom since you're disturbing their time. So I gave it to her the next day. She thought it was funny. I gotta write this. I'm not gonna write it. I'm like, well, you're not gonna get recess or we have fun Fridays. You won't have that. And you gotta sit alone at recess or lunch. And she didn't write it, so now what I'm gonna do, because it is it is appropriate, and she hates it. I don't know why I do. It's not fair. Come on, let me. So on Monday we'll have a conversation. I'll say, listen, I'll meet you halfway. Do half of it, and I'll take off half for. But I want to be strict because, again, but adults, you can't do that with adults, especially adults that are not in your family or whatever. So this caseworker woman, I don't know what I'm. So the therapist is like, you can't do that. Why not? If she thinks it's okay to talk shit in front of people and she doesn't have any awareness. Here, we're jumping. So the other day I was talking to my kids. It was the end of the day, so there was only 2 kids left. And then they said something, and they're like, oh yeah, because I teach 6th grade, and they were saying how the 7th and 8th graders are so disrespectful. And they're like, they're so disrespectful. And then one kid said, but it's kind of like us, because Mr. Bailey always says to pick up after our stuff and not to shout, and we do. So kind of it's the same thing. And I'm like, wow. And then they're having this like intelligent conversation. I was like, wow, you guys are self-aware. Do you know what that even means? And they're just like, aware, like around your surroundings? I was so proud. Now it's lost because the next day they're still continuing to be what they don't like. But yeah, it is cold, man. Cold. But anything else? Black Friday. I've noticed all the things that I buy, they're already having their Black Friday sales, which is annoying because I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to budget. And it's just like Black Friday. And if you're going to buy shit, you might as well buy it. Like I bought a microphone last year. I didn't buy it on Black Friday. I bought it a week later. I had to pay $100 more because I was just like, do I really need a mic? And I got the mic and I loved it. Although now I'm using another mic, the mic that I had before I bought this new mic. And I don't know, the settings, the vibe, it just sounds really nice. It sounds almost better than the better mic. It's like weird like that. It is cold though. Cold, I don't know if I can make it. But it works out because you guys don't want to watch a whole hour. That last one was long. It was so long, it took 2 days for it to upload. Like it just wouldn't upload. Ooh, my hands are cold. Ooh wee. I saw the Loki finale. I wasn't a fan of it. I mean, I guess they could do a season 3, whatever. But Jason Majors, that's his name? Is it Jason? Jonathan Majors. I think he's my new favorite Marvel character. There's Rhodey, he's cool. There's director, whatever his face is, he's cool. But they're good guys. We got a bad guy who's complicated. You know, like he's... And I'm glad, because I don't follow Marvel like that. So when I was seeing Loki and at the end he pops up, he's like... Like he's... Like, I hope... Now Marvel's been messing up, man. I'm not a comic book reader of Marvel. But the movies... I mean... Oh, I wanted to bring this up. So... Let's see if I could come back to this point right here. But I think the old man syndrome, and maybe old lady syndrome, but I never heard it used that way. But just saying, complaining, like kids today. I guess because old men sitting on porches, that's what they do. I think it's not an old man thing. Not like... It's a different era, different time thing. Which everyone is like The Walking Dead. Everyone has that. We're born with it. What I mean, in my class of 11, 12-year-olds, I was trying to find a video for them to watch for science. And the video that popped up was the Magic School Bus. But for this particular lesson, I had to buy it. It wasn't the free ones that are already on YouTube. So I go on to Amazon and I buy it, and it's like a reboot. And I play it, and the kids are like, I don't like it. It's different. And they're going on, we want the old one. This song's different. And they're just going on and on about how different it is. And it is different. It's a reboot. I think one of the characters are gone. And they're 11 and 12. But imagine a 5-year-old, whoever their younger siblings, they would be introduced to the newest one, which would be ground zero for them. And the conversation would be, you don't know how the old one was better. But is that any different from everything else? I can imagine, because we just celebrated, our school actually has school, but I think it's Veterans Day. But you could imagine soldiers from this war and soldiers from that war and soldiers before, like, you think that's a war? Back in my day, like. But I don't know if I don't know if that's a bad thing. Annoying, but it's just like everything changes. So either you change with it or you get stuck. Like, I like when I'm driving to work, I'll play the new songs, like give me the top 10 of whatever's on the radio. It doesn't do it for me because, one, I'm listening in my car, not in a club with 100 people just going crazy. That's like an indication, like, I don't know why they like the Stanky Leg, like that era. I got swept up into the Superman now because I'm in the club and I'm just like, you or bitches and drink, like. But these songs, it's out of context. I'm just kind of listening from an objective, sitting in my car going to work point of view. But oh my gosh, my hands are cold. We're gonna have to cut this here. Oh. All right. Well, we're gonna cut this here. Y'all know what y'all know. And I hope you guys are good. Peace. It's cold.